Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kendall if you are new. Welcome to my very first reset video of 2024. Monthly resets are some of my favorite videos to watch as a viewer, and so I knew when I started making my own videos, I wanted to try them out for myself. Because of that, I'm not positive on what I want to include on my monthly resets, what I don't want to include, so I'm definitely open to suggestions. If there's something that I included that you'd like to see in its own separate video, definitely let me know down below, or if there's something that I didn't include that you'd like to see, also let me know. I'm not gonna get into my January goals. I'll talk about it in my reflection for the month, but it was kind of an up and down month for me, and I'm kind of using February as a reset on all of my goals. So grab a coffee, tea, or just water and come hang out while we recap the past month. For the first part of this video, I thought I would kind of use it to reflect on the past month. And as I said in my intro, January was a bit of a up and down kind of month. I started out really strong with my goals, working out, eating healthy, and then the second half of the month, I kind of fell off of that. I think I pushed myself too hard right out of the gate with my goals. I kind of looked at it as an all or nothing attitude, so I'm really hoping I can not do that this month in February. I was working out every single day, only taking one rest day just to start out right out the gate, and that definitely played a role in me kind of falling off my goals. As you see in my February goals, they're not as intense as what they may have been at the start of the year. I also spent a week in Florida with my family. My dad got surgery, he's all good, but I spent a week there helping out around the house while he was recovering, and so that kind of had a little effect on my goal. While I was down in Florida, I actually got laid off from my job, so that definitely had an impact on my goals. Because I kind of just had to reorganize my entire day and kind of see what I wanted to do now in my free time. Hence why I'm spending a lot more time on YouTube and content creation overall. To look back on the month, I definitely think I took things in stride, try to see the silver lining of things and not be as negative. Like, yes, losing a job is really unfortunate and can be scary, but I do have that silver lining. It might not have been my favorite job, and now I can invest more time into doing things like content creation that I really enjoy and take it a lot more seriously, almost as if it was a full-time job. That being said, let's take a look at my goals for February. Broken up my goals by personal, health and wellness, content, and then home. I'm looking at them on my phone, but I'll put them up on the screen as well. So for my personal goals, I want to plan a vacation in the month of May for me and my husband. We were going to do a vacation with my family, but we're moving that to this fall. So we still want to try and spend some time together and go out of town. I also want to read at least 5 books. I didn't exactly hit that in January, but I want to try to really read 5. My third personal goal is to have a low spend month. Because I lost my job, I don't have my salaried income as I usually would. So I want to really only buy essentials. I really want to develop a proper morning and nighttime routine, like wake up at 6:30, work out, have breakfast, all of that, and then at nighttime kind of not spend as much time on my phone when I'm laying in bed. I can get into a really bad habit of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of stay up way too late or have a hard time falling asleep, so I definitely want to work on that. For my health and wellness goals, I want to do at least 3 workouts a week. We have a Peloton bike at our house, and so I want to try to do at least 3 rides during the week. I did one this morning and it was really great, and I don't want to kind of pressure myself into I have to do one every single day, because what happened in January is I just got too sore and I didn't take any time off, so my body was like, pump the brakes. So I think 3 workouts a week is a good place to start. Maybe halfway through the month I'll change it, but for now I'm starting with 3. No phone after 8 p.m. This is something I mentioned in my personal one with my morning and night routine, but I really want to try to stay off my phone at nighttime. I want to get some more outdoor movement, whether it's just go for a walk down the street or even try to pick up running. That's something that I've really wanted to do for a while now, and yes, it's winter, but I feel like this is a good time to start. I also want to drink 120 ounces of water a day. I think that will be easy because I have my big Owala water bottle, which I believe is 40 ounces, so that's only like 3 of these, which I think is definitely easy and something I can do. For my content creation goals, I want to do a consistent stream schedule. If you don't know, I stream on Twitch over at twitch.tv/lifewithkendal. I play a lot of scary or horror games, particularly Dead by Daylight, but I'm also going to try to do some co-working streams and stuff like that. So if that's something you might be interested in, I will have it linked down below. And I want to also post 2 YouTube videos a week at least. I think I really want to try to push myself to 3 videos a week, but really aspire for 2. If I can get 2 videos a week in February, I will be happy. Then I also want to post more on Instagram and TikTok. These are things that I really neglected over the past couple of months, and I miss posting on it, honestly. I love editing pictures, taking them, and so I want to try to post more there. I almost said post daily, but I definitely think that is way too hard to do, honestly. Like, I'd have to batch content, and I'm not saying that that's bad, but I don't want to hold myself to such high standards right out of the gate and then risk burning out. And then the last section would be home. I really want to organize our pantry. Our pantry can get really messy, especially if we're not taking the time to really go through it and throw out things that might be expired or that we don't use to go donate. So I want to make sure I organize that this month. I also want to develop a weekly cleaning schedule, whether it be on Sundays or in the middle of the week. I want to have a consistent, okay, today we're going to wash the towels and the bedding, and I'm going to clean the counters and all of that stuff. And I want to meal prep for the week. This is something that I did when I was in the office, and it was really helpful. And it kind of cut down on me doing a lot of snacking because I'm a big snacker. And even though I'm not working in an office during the week, I may be streaming during lunchtime and want to take just a quick lunch break and go heat something up or make something. And meal prepping would make that a lot easier. Those are my goals for February. Let me know down below what yours are. I'm trying to not, I've said this already several times, but trying to not hold myself to such high standards and be like all or nothing. Just baby steps this month. January had a lot of change, as I mentioned in the reflection, and so I just kind of want to ease into all of this. I hope I can accomplish these. So I thought it'd be fun to include my monthly wrap-up in these reset videos. If you would prefer these to be broken out separate videos, definitely let me know. I'm open to it, but for now, I thought they would fit well in these resets. I will preface my January wrap-up by saying I know I did a January TBR, and I only read 2 of the books on it, so I am so sorry. I'm hoping I can do better in February. As I said in my January TBR, I am a mood reader, so if I don't want to read something, I'm not gonna read it. That's why 2 of the books were on my TBR and 2 of them were not. It's just the mood reader in me. I don't know what else to say. So the first book that I read this year is the 4th, I think, book in the off-campus Briar University series by Elle Kennedy, and it was The Goal. This book follows Tucker and Sabrina, and I rated it 3 stars. It was definitely not my favorite in the series. It has a trope that I am not a big fan of. If you read the previous book in the series, you probably know what I'm talking about, but I was just not a fan. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to go like super spoilery in these reviews in the wrap up, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And also the main character, Sabrina, kind of bothered me. There were times where I just wanted to like grab her and be like, girl, get it together. Honestly, I really had to push myself to finish this book. I knew that I wanted to continue with this series, so I've kind of forced myself to finish it, which might have been a bad idea, but thankfully the next book I'm about to share was a favorite. I don't want to bump it any lower than 3 stars because I do really enjoy this series. I enjoy Elle Kennedy's writing, but there were aspects of it I definitely did not enjoy, so 3 stars it is. The next book I read is for the book club banter over on Instagram and also Facebook. I'll tag Lauren down below in case you want to join, and it was Out on a Limb. I absolutely loved this book. It was easily 5 stars for me. It follows Winifred and Beau, and they meet at a Halloween party, things escalate, and like I said, there's a trope that I usually don't like, but I loved it in this book. I thought it was so well done. Beau is definitely now on my list of top book boyfriends, to be quite honest. I just wanted to give him a hug every time I was reading this book. This is one of those books that I literally did not want it to end, and I loved the epilogue, how there was a time jump and you just got to see more of the main characters' lives together. It hit. It tugged on my heart. I love Win and Beau, and I want nothing but the best for them. The next 2 books were a part of Reread. You might know what I'm about to say, but the first one was House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. I reread this in anticipation of House of Flame and Shadow, and I honestly think it was better the second time around. I had much more understanding of the world building. I didn't have to like spend too much time thinking about it because I had already read it. If you're unfamiliar with the Crescent City series, I highly recommend. I think it's technically like an urban fantasy because it's a fantasy world with fae and mare and angels and humans and shifters, but set in a modern day universe. So they have cell phones, they have the internet, they have major weapons, all of that stuff. So this is definitely different than any other fantasy books that I read the first time I read this. And the second time it was just so much easier to digest, obviously because I knew what was going to happen. So I rated that 5 stars. And then the second one is House of Sky and Breath, also in the Crescent City universe. I also rated this 5 stars. I think I had a better time reading this the second time, to be quite honest. First time I read it, I had such high expectations and there were some elements of it that I didn't like that rereading it, I was like, what is wrong with me? Why did I not enjoy this as much the first time around? The second time around, it literally was perfect. I loved it so much. I love Hunt and Bryce, and I honestly found myself getting emotional reading it, even though it was the second time, and like I said, I knew what was happening. I also listened to the audiobook while I was reading this for a little bit more of an immersive reading experience, and I highly recommend doing that if you're able to. It was so good. And Elizabeth Evans is such a good narrator and voice actor. It's just 5 stars, chef's kiss. I thought it'd be fun to use the last part of my monthly reset to go over some new favorites from the month, whether they be makeup, just lifestyle, or even a TV show or movie. My first favorite for this month is the Tower 28 tinted sunscreen. I really enjoy this. It's a little dark for me. I should have gotten the lightest shade because I am extremely pale, but I love this as an everyday base. I think it does a great job of just evening out my skin tone while providing some sun protection. I mainly use this and then just some spot concealer and blush, and I'm ready to go if I'm not filming or streaming or anything like that, going into the office as I was doing the first half of the month. But if you're in the market for something that's super lightweight and doesn't feel like anything on your skin, I highly recommend this. The last beauty product is the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. I'm obsessed with these. I want every shade, every flavor. I don't even know if they're called flavors, but I want every single one. I have the mint, is just like the one I leave on my desk and leave around the house, but I also have the pink sugar one, which is so good. It smells like vanilla frosting, and that stays in whatever bag I am carrying so I can use it on the go. These are a little bit of a heavier lip gloss, but they're super light consistency and I can't help myself from applying it 10 times a day. Last 2 favorites are actually TV shows. My husband and I have looking for something different to watch at night when we're done with dinner and kind of just hanging out in the living room. And so we took a little leap over to Max and found that they have a bunch of the Food Network shows on there. The 2 that we've been watching most of the time have been Beat Bobby Flay and Worst Cooks in America. Beat Bobby Flay definitely has the #1 spot. That is our go-to. We have a quick 20 minutes, let's watch an episode, or we have an hour, let's watch 2. It is so good. If you're unfamiliar with the Beat Bobby Flay, the whole concept is Bobby picks 2 friends to come onto the show and they each pick 2 chefs to come battle it out in the first round. They have to make a dish featuring a ingredient of Bobby's choice, and then whoever moves on to the next round gets to pick their signature dish for them and Bobby to make. It's really fun to watch, and we honestly find each other asking the other person, like, what would you make if your featured item was, let's say, cauliflower or ground beef, that kind of thing. It's really fun just for us to sit and watch and try to think of new recipe ideas for us. That might be silly, but it's one of our favorites, definitely from this past month. Worst Cooks America is actually a cooking game show, and each contestant is deemed like a worst cook. They don't know how to cook eggs, salads, easy things like that, and each episode they're kind of tasked with following their mentor's recipe and seeing how they can make it their own. And that's just also a fun thing to watch. They're longer episodes, they're like 40-45 minutes. I feel like January was like our Food Network era. We just constantly found ourselves watching Food Network or replaying shows on Max. Those were my favorites from the month of January. That is it for my February reset. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything that I didn't include that you'd like me to, please let me know down below, or vice versa. Like I said in the intro, I'm super open to changing up the order of these. Make sure to follow me on my socials. They'll be linked all down below: my Twitch, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Goodreads, all of that stuff. I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.